So, Rule 24, during the pushing, it starts by talking about what a power-driven vessel while towing needs to exhibit, and it says instead of the lights prescribed in Rule 23, a 1 and 2, and Rule 23 of course is the light of a power-driven vessel. If you haven't looked at this,
Like if we take a look at this tugboat here, we know that as a normal power driven they've got to have a masthead light, but if they're towing they've got to have two masthead lights in a vertical line, or if that tows over 200 meters, three masthead lights in a vertical line, and then side lights, a stern light, and then a towing light above that stern light.
next is talking about pushing vessels that are urgently connected to the thing they pushing, and in this case they got to show just the light of a power driven vessel, so they not got to show anything different if they urgently connected together. If you're pushing ahead of or towing alongside, unless you in that opposite unit, you just need to show mass headlights in a particular line. There is no option for that third masthead light. In this case, you can only show the third masthead light, so there's nothing extra indicating length. In additional side lights and in stern light, and you need notice there's no towing right here, so this one.
So if we go back to our tug diagram, we can see if they're going to be pushing ahead or towing alongside, they're just going to have those two masthead lights, side lights, and a stern light. So they do look quite different to the tug that was towing a normal tow behind them.
A power run vessel which is showing the headlights or basically of a towing vessel needs to also comply with the Rule 23, and this is the rule that says if you're greater than 50 meters in length, you need to show a second masthead light of and higher than the less one first one. So all this is saying if you're a towing vessel, you still go to indicate you need you if you vessel is greater than 50 meters, a vessel or object being two need other than once. Next, side lights and a stern light, and if the length and a stern light, and if the length of the two is greater than 20 meters, a diamond shape. You remember from the first paragraph, if it's more than 200 meters, that where the diamond comes in.
The easy way to think of this is think of a tug towing another vessel. Of course, the tug is going to be showing the lights of a towing vessel towing something greater than 200 meters in this case, and then the thing being towed is going to be showing the same lights it would as a power-driven vessel, but it's not going to have its masthead lights on. So it's still got to show side lights and a stern light. And this applies regardless of the object being towed.
The vessel that being towed alongside or pushing in this case, if they in a group, and let us vessel if you're going being pushed ahead case not part of a composite unit, you just need to exhibit side light at the forward end, and then if you're being towed alongside, you need to exhibit side light and the stern light.
If you look at it in a diagram, this actually all makes sense. If you're being pushed ahead, you've just got those side lights. If you had your stern light on, you'd be blinding the tug. And then, if you're being towed alongside, again, you'll have those side lights, but then you'll also have that stern light.
In part G, vessel or object, the light that these so show depend both of their breadth and on their overall length. If you're less than 25 meters, you just need to put all round lights at the forward end. Soon as you get more than 25 meters in breadth, you need to add additional all round lights in either side of the extremities of the breath. If you more than 100 meters long, then you need additional all-round lights, so the distance between the lights is not going to be greater than 100 meters. And then the shape, you need diamond shape at the aftermost extreme, and if you're more than 200 meters, a second diamond shape after forwards.
If we think of this in a diagram, it becomes a lot easier to understand. You're inconspicuous or partly submerged, you need an all-round light at the forward end and at the after end. If you expand your breadth to be more than 25 meters, you need additional all-round lights at the extremes of your breadth. And then if your length is greater than 100 meters, you need additional all-round lights so that the distance between the lights will always be less than 100 meters.
In paragraph H, extensions, if it's impracticable for a vessel or subject being towed exhibit the lights that we're talking about, all possible measures shall be taken to light the vessel or object towed at, or at least to indicate its presence. Finally, if you're steering another vessel and you don't normally engage in towing operation, you need to find that you can't exhibit the light. You need to add unique change to towing another vessel in interest you otherwise in need to assistant. However, all possible measures shall be taken to indicate the nature of relation between the towing vessel and the tone as authorized by Rule 26, particularly in eliminating the tow line.